I'll go home as a beggar and never be your wife.
Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
True Crime Edition. I almost just jumped in and started telling my stories. If you like our show, you can like, subscribe, share, comment. There's shout out to the person who comments on like pretty much all of our YouTube videos and has like a little discourse going with me about their interests.
Oh,
Thank you for the engagement.
yes.
We are sorry for... No, I'll say that when we do pop culture, because I always do this. Anyway, if you like snacks, you can use the code HDI20 for 20% off of your order at Deutsch Foods. It's edible snacking cookie dough. It's edible right out of the jar because it's vegan, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it's gluten-free and low sugar. Good for everybody.
I do need to get more.
Me too. And then if I didn't drop $100 at 3 estate sales yesterday, and then probably like $100 more at a craft fair today, I would be on that. You can also go to Every Jewels, EVRY Jewels, and get money off of your jewelry order with the code with the code Mary788. I just did an Every Jewels order. Let's look at what I got, shall we?
You keep breathing straight into that mic.
Oh, I keep trying to like bring it closer.
How dare you breathe?
I know. Can't be worse than the Love Island mics, though.
Oh my god. A little fashion statement.
Yeah, well, I'm in the sounds.
I know, but
Sammy was like, what are they wearing? I got... Oh, also, Every Jewels right now is, if they're doing the same sale they were doing yesterday, everything is buy two, get two free. Like,
nice.
Everything. And so, if you get 2 of the buy two, get 2 free things, you get
4 things free.
Yeah. Whatever. You get your next 2 things free. So,
okay.
I got 2 pairs of socks. I got some little hoop earrings that look like constellations, and then I got
cute.
some lightning bolt hoop earrings. I got an angel number necklace, and I got this like this one was really cute. It's like a pink beaded necklace, like little tiny beads, and then it's got like a gold charm with like pink and like rhinestone little shapes in it. It's cute. And I paid $30 because I got 2 of those things for free.
Nice. I just keep spending my money on corn lattes.
What? So it was good?
So good.
Yeah. Did it taste like the corn ice cream?
I got a second one. Yeah, it was like, you know how like maybe not, but like, you know how like a foam in a coffee like doesn't really like, it doesn't like flavor the coffee like super intensely.
Like I always get a lavender matcha.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think people who like sweeter should probably get like also a vanilla flavor shot in the coffee.
Yeah.
Because it's not like super sweet, but I thought it was so good. I've had 2.
Okay.
Obsessed.
I got this at the craft fair today from Janie.
How cute is that? It looks like one of Donnie Annie ones we used to have.
I know. I also got a bunch of beads at the estate sale yesterday, so after this I'm going to make some necklaces. Anyway.
Heck yeah. All right, we're, ADHD today.
Well, Mary's ADHD every day. But
today, I've just diagnosed her.
I've got 2... Look, we've been there and back. People have tried to diagnose me for years. Finally stuck. We've got 2 real-time true crimes today. The first one. The mayor of Easton, Pennsylvania, his name is J. William Reynolds, made a statement on a local news station, ABC 27, about Love Island contestant Sean. He said, quote, "Our police department spent a lot of time training, and we paid thousands of taxpayer dollars to send him to the police academy. We are disappointed he left, as we now have another vacancy in our department that is impossible to fill until next year."
Also, like, can you not, when he comes back, if he comes back, you don't have to retrain him. The taxpayer dollars you spent are already still spent.
And if you can't fill it until next year, he's only gone for at max 2 months.
Yeah, but he'll probably take on a little life of an influencer for a little while, but of course.
Then he said, "I never thought I'd see the day in America where reality show participation wins out over being a police officer."
I did. I think we're at the point in America, listen, if y'all have made it this far in our podcast, you surely know how we feel about this demographic, but we're at the point in this country where being a garbage truck driver is probably cooler than being a cop. So, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. My immediate thoughts were, one, in the first episode, Sean said he had been a cop for 6 years, and he said that he had only moved to Pennsylvania to be closer to his son, who I think is like 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. So he was trained before he got there. Right. Yeah. He should not have had to go back to the police academy. 2, this is my dream of America, actually. Yeah. Where going on reality shows wins out. Yeah. Anyway, though, Sean's mom responded saying, quote, "The statements made by these officials are disappointing, and they missed a huge opportunity to make a positive impact. They did not spend taxpayer dollars to send him to a full academy. He came with 4 years of experience from Northern California, where he was a sheriff deputy. Contra Costa County Sheriff Department paid for him to attend a full academy. Yes, they spent some, but they are making statements that do not tell the whole story. Also, I think it's interesting that they say he resigned because he was told to put in for leave before going on the show, and then after arriving in Fiji, his leave was denied. I think when the mayor is speaking on something, especially something about another person, it is important to share all the facts. I stand with my son. I support him fully and am so proud of him." So, just your bi-weekly reminder that all cops are bastards. Mm-hmm. More serious real-time true crime. A 20-year-old Auburn University student named Weston Higginbotham is missing. He was last seen at the Kyoto train station in Japan, leading to... Yeah, it's just crazy.
I saw his mom talking about this.
So they did a massive search in the area. It's now been going on for 9 days. So what happened is he is on this trip with his parents, and his dad has been using ChatGPT to plan a lot of their trip. And they got into an argument where he basically was like, "You need to stop using AI to plan so much of this trip. Like, we can do this ourselves." And it got like heated, and he walked away. So he was last seen leaving his hotel on May 29th. He is wearing purple pants and a white t-shirt that says "Save the Bees," which is like so on par for someone who walked off after getting into an argument over AI. Sweet baby.
And his parents did an interview on Fox News, and he's probably somewhere livid.
What the fuck? The hotel security footage shows him walking alone on the streets of Yamashina? I don't know if I typed that wrong. No, I didn't. Yamashina. The family believes, I guess based on the footage, that he entered the mountainous forest area near Yamashina. And
on his way to save the bees?
I think that was part of like what they were there for, is like to like hike. Explore. Yeah. So his mom was saying that she's worried because like he's healthy, he's young. She's like, there's so much water in that area, but there is nothing for him to eat. And he's now been gone for 9 days. And so she's like worried that he's gonna starve. And so she asked that any like hikers, trail runners, outdoor enthusiasts in the area help the search for Weston.
Alright, you gotta stop popping your fingers and deep breathing into that mic.
All my breaths are deep, though.
No more breaths.
Okay. Are you ready for our story?
I am.
Okay. This one's a little shorter, but I feel like we can make it longer.
We got a long pop culture comment.
Alright. So, here we go. On February 4th, 1820, the Constitutional Court of South Carolina sentenced Lavinia and John Fisher to be hanged. 2 weeks later, the two stood on the gallows in front of the Old City Jail in Charleston, having handled the news of their execution very differently. John allowed the Reverend Richard Furman, a local minister, to read a letter he had written, in which he pointed out that he had accepted Christ into his life and could not be executed without telling the full truth, which was that he was innocent of any crimes, and that he hoped God would show mercy to those who had wronged him by sentencing him to death.
They know not what they done.
Right. After the letter was read, John asked the crowd of 2,000 people to forgive him and spare him. Just forgive him for what? I thought you were innocent. He's wife...
like, I've probably done something bad in my life.
Yeah. His wife, on the other hand, simply said, "Save your words for those that want them. If you have any message you want to send to hell, give it to me and I'll carry it."
Hell yeah.
She said, "Oh, he wanted to spend time with a reverend? I'm going straight to hell."
Yeah.
Please. So, this is the story of Lavinia Fisher. I shouldn't be so excited about her, but okay. I just think that's such a badass thing to say.
Yeah.
Also, like, she's just like the OG, like, doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Kind of gal.
Like that lady in Salem that just, like, cursed that guy's blood.
Yeah.
For the rest of, like, that's a crazy thing to say, but cool.
Yeah. So, Lavinia Fisher was born in 1793 and was born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina. She married John Fisher, and the two became part of a group who operated highway hotels out of two houses, the 5 Mile House and the 6 Mile Wayfarer House. These were like inns. And the inns were located in the perfect place for travelers going to Charleston without actually having to stay in the city. Eventually, these hotels served as hideouts for gangs of highwaymen and outlaws. The Fishers owned the 6 Mile Wayfarer House, which was located exactly 6 miles north of Charleston in the backcountry of South Carolina. So it was like very close to the city, but like out of the way, kind of like a stop before you get there. During their ownership of the inn, multiple reports were filed with the local sheriff's office stating that guests had been regularly disappearing from the 6 Mile Wayfarer House. The authorities tried to look into the reports, but weren't able to find any evidence. Plus, the locals were very fond of the Fishers and had no reason to believe they were involved with the disappearances, so the complaints didn't amount to anything. In February of 1819, police were dispatched to the 6 Mile House in regards to reported gang activity that had left a young man beaten. David Ross had been in touch with a so-called vigilante gang that had been called to the neighborhood of John and Lavinia Fisher's inn to stop alleged gang activity. So he's in the vigilante gang.
We are the anti-gang gang.
Yeah. They're trying to stop the regular gang.
Cool.
When the vigilantes were satisfied that they had solved the gang problem, they left David behind to keep an eye on the area. To which I say, sounds like you're not that satisfied.
Yeah.
You gotta leave someone behind. Unfortunately for everyone involved, they had not been successful in driving out the gangs in the area. So early in the morning, David was attacked by 2 men and dragged to the meeting location of the regular gang, the gang. When they arrived, David looked up and saw a woman among them. Thinking women are softer, more sensitive, he hoped she would help him. And instead, she choked him and smashed his head through a window. David was able to get away from his attackers. Once he had left, another potential patron came upon the inn. This traveler, a man named John Peoples, asked the Fishers if there were any vacancies at the 6 Mile House. Lavinia informed him that there were no available rooms, but that he was welcome to come inside and rest, maybe enjoy a cup of tea, like before he gets back on the road. John Peoples was blissfully unaware of the rumors surrounding the 6 Mile Wayfarer house and its owners. According to the word around town, word on the street, John and Lavinia Fisher had a pretty regular routine for inviting guests to their inn. Beautiful, stunning Lavinia would lure lone travelers into the inn for dinner and tea. She would interrogate them about their jobs, trying to figure out how much money they may make. Then she would serve them a cup of tea laced with oleander.
Feels like Stardust.
Yeah.
Like Stardust is actually based on a true story, and it's Lavinia Fisher.
It's like, it feels like a mix of like Stardust and like Sweeney Todd, and like H.H. Holmes, which I know is real, but like
sure,
all the things.
Yeah.
So oleander is highly toxic, and every part of the plant is considered poisonous. Roots, leaves, flowers, stems, all of it. Touching oleander can lead to skin irritation. Inhaling smoke from burning oleander is toxic. And ingesting oleander is obviously much, much worse. Oleander contains cardiac glycosides that cause severe heart complications and gastrointestinal issues that eventually result in death.
Okay.
Interestingly,
you'll either have a heart attack or shit to death, but you're gonna die.
Yeah. Interestingly, it is considered a popular landscaping plant in warm regions like Southern California because it typically thrives in full sun, poor soil, dry climate, and salty coastal winds.
Is it pretty though?
It's like flowers, it's like pink and yellow flowers, but not worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, like it will it kill animals? Like if
Probably.
someone comes up,
like touching it, like you.
Yeah, you're saying
getting
even touching
like
it.
Would you plant poison ivy at your house?
Why is this article says oleander is a poisonous plant, not a cure for COVID-19. No.
Lavinia was ahead of her time. Did you snort?
Yeah.
Okay. After offering the poison tea to guests at the inn, Lavinia and John would wait for them to like pass out or die. And this is where tales start to vary slightly. In one version of events, Lavinia would send the men to their rooms with the tea and wait for it to set in. And then, when they were unable to fight back, John Fisher would enter the room and beat them to death. In another version, and this is the one I hear more often, Lavinia would offer the men their tea and then send them off to bed. When they were successfully poisoned and either like incapacitated or deceased, she would pull a lever, causing the bed to collapse and drop the deceased into a cellar or pit, Sweeney Todd style.
Or Emperor's New Groove style. Pull the lever, crook!
Then John would make his way down to the cellar area and dismember the victim and dispose of his body.
Wow. What a team.
I know. how like innovative, like in the
know.
1800s, like also like because this is what H.H. Holmes did, and so I'm like, why are there so many levers
Yeah.
in the 1800s?
How collaborative these two.
When John Peoples arrived at the 6 Mile Wayfarer house, he was unaware of the legends surrounding its owners. When Lavinia invited him in for tea, he accepted the offer to rest, but he declined the tea because he did not like tea. Just simply was not a fan. When Lavinia wasn't looking, John dumped the tea out because he didn't want to seem rude. Because he thought she was being generous. Like, she's like, no, we don't have a room, but like, I'll get you some tea. You can sit for a minute. And he was like, oh, I don't want to tell her I hate tea. When Lavinia thought John had downed the tea, she began asking him questions.
She's like, damn, empty so fast.
Yeah. Okay.
He loved my tea.
She was asking him like what he does for work, what he's doing in town, etc. And the longer they talked, Lavinia told him that she now realized they did actually have a room for him.
Oh.
After being brought up to the room, John began to think more about his conversation with Lavinia, and he started to feel like it was kind of a suspicious conversation. He was worried that she may have been planning to rob him. So he slept in a wooden chair by the door of his room so that he could hear if anyone came in.
And is that, I mean, and if I'm going to find out later, I can wait, but like, is that their motivation here?
Yeah.
Is just to take these men's money?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were robbing them. In the middle of the night, he woke up to a loud sound coming from the bed in the room and looked up to see the bed collapsing and opening up the floor.
Oh.
When he pieced together like what's happening.
Like, I wish y'all had some 1800s cameras and could have seen that he wasn't in the bed.
It's
That's
also
so
like,
embarrassing.
Like, all of this stuff is like more than likely like legend, and so like it's also very possible that this did not happen.
No,
and,
it
like,
did.
But like,
it has to have.
Like, he wakes up and the floor is open.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, where'd he go? So when he
John's
saw this
just
happen,
like waiting.
He's like,
and nothing's falling.
Nobody came down. So it woke him up. He saw what was going on, and he jumped out of the window and rode to Charleston to alert police. When police arrived,
jumped out, landed straight on a horse.
Yeah. I know, that's what I was like, rode what? Like, how did he get out of there so fast? The horse was just
waiting.
They don't have any weapons. This is their only way of murdering. Yeah. When police arrived, they immediately located Lavinia, John, and 2 other gang members.
Hand on the lever.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
This is all happening so fast, considering there are no cars or phones. In an effort to protect his wife, John Fisher surrendered the group and gave authorities the names of every other gang member he knew of. The Fishers and their co-conspirators were sent to the Old City Jail at 21 Magazine Street in Charleston. At their arraignment, both of the Fishers pled not guilty and were ordered to be held in jail until their trial in May of 1819. The other gang members were released on bail, and Lavinia and John Fisher were found guilty of highway robbery, a capital offense. Okay. Although rumors alleged that the Fishers had murdered anywhere from 20 to 130 men, no bodies were ever found, and they weren't able to convict either of them of murder. So they were just found guilty of highway robbery. The judge gave them reprieve until January as part of an appeal. And while they were...
It's interesting to be able to be charged with robbery when, like, seemingly there's not been any survivors who can be like, I went there and then they took my stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I guess just these 2 guys.
Yeah, I guess.
But I think it's crazy that highway robbery is a capital offense.
I know. But I'm also like, they didn't even get to take anything. How does he
Yeah.
prove that was, I don't know, interesting.
Yeah. While they were in prison, their inn was burned down. Like, I think by the city.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
in an official capacity.
Okay.
Like Ed Gein.
They said, we don't really got, like, bulldozers, but
Yeah.
we got matches.
Yeah. The Old City Jail was a prison, obviously, that shared a plot with a cemetery, an asylum, and gallows. It was completed in 1802 and housed a 2-story octagonal tower that was made to deter escape attempts, which turned out to be useful when the Fishers arrived. The Fishers were sharing a 6x8 cell. Could you imagine my husband in a 6-foot cell?
I know. 6x8 is the size of the dog boarding room that I'm booking for Louis.
Like, my husband is more than 6 feet.
He is 6x8. Just kidding.
I know, he can lay down in there.
Yeah.
But it was a 6x8 cell. They were in there together, and there weren't a lot of guards around, so they had plenty of time to talk and to scheme. They decided they're going to escape. They tied several linens together to make a rope and tossed it down from their cell window. John climbed down first, but as he was climbing, the makeshift rope broke, and Lavinia was left in the cell alone. John was not, you can say many things about him, but you can't say he was a bad husband. He was not interested in escaping on his own, so he allowed himself to be recaptured.
He said, take me back!
Yeah, he said, well, if my wife's not coming, I'm not going.
Yeah.
After that,
Did you say they were in a cell together?
Yeah.
At that time. Okay, and then you're about to tell us.
Well, they were together the whole time.
Oh, okay.
After that, they were kept under much tighter security. They had much more guards. And eventually, I don't know if this happened while they were there or later, but eventually the death row cells were reinforced with iron walls to prevent further escape attempts. And I know, like, when we went there, he was telling us about it, and like he was like, that's why there are bars on the windows now.
Yeah.
On February 4th, 1820, John and Lavinia Fisher ran out of appeals and were sentenced to be hanged. Lavinia held out hope that the mayor of Charleston wouldn't dare to execute a woman. And in fact, there was a law at the time that married women could not be hanged.
Oh.
To further prove her point, Lavinia showed up to the gallows in her wedding gown.
Ah.
I was like, I'm telling you, she's like drama queen.
Performer.
Yeah. But the authorities had a plan. John Fisher was hanged first, leaving Lavinia a widow and therefore not a married woman. When it was her turn, Lavinia stepped up to the gallows, delivered her iconic final words, and jumped, hanging herself before the jailers could do it.
Hell
Diva.
Yeah.
Diva down.
She said, you know what I'm not going to let them do? Pull a lever, drop out from under my feet, use my tactic to kill me. Absolutely
She's
not.
like,
I'm the lever queen.
Like when we were in middle school and had to watch videos about 9/11, and we were like, why is everybody jumping? And they were like, they would rather do it themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Shuts her brain. Despite never being convicted of a single murder, Lavinia Fisher is often considered to be America's first female serial killer. Lavinia Fisher was buried in a potter's field near the Old City Jail. Some Charleston tour guides have tried to claim that she was buried at the Circular Congregational Church at 150 Meeting Street or at the Unitarian Church at 4 Archdale Street, but those have been proven to be fictionalized. I also, though, I did look up, like, if she's not the first, America's first female serial killer, it said, like, the first American woman to be convicted of multiple murders was Eileen Wuornos, which is like so much later in time. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, not that I don't believe it, but like, that was in what, like the 80s, 90s? Like, that wasn't that long ago.
I know it is. Huh?
I said I'm losing you.
Oh, she said, no, I was looking it up. Her killing was between 89 and 90. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like, literally, like,
when was
like well over 100 years later.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And also, like, I thought Dorothea Puente was in like the 90s too, but I guess not.
Maybe one was convicted first.
Huh?
Maybe Eileen was just convicted first?
Maybe, but Dorothea Puente's murders were between 82 and 88. Her conviction was... She was apprehended in 88. I don't know. Interesting, though. That, yeah, like, it's like either this woman or this woman, it's either Lavinia Fisher, who's not convicted, or it's the fucking 90s.
Right. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Women in STEM, women in male fields.
Yeah.
Okay. Possibly bigger than Lavinia's legacy is that of the Old City Jail. The jail operated for 137 years and was once called, quote, a dirty, filthy place unfit for human beings to live in. End quote. There was another one. It was like, this is the dirtiest, nastiest, like, most destitute place.
The way people order their martinis. I want the dirtiest, nastiest, most destitute martini.
I have to figure out how to make that into a shirt. I think what was funny is, like, the other one, the person who was saying it was like the nastiest, dirtiest, most desolate place I've ever stayed in. Like, it's like a hotel, and like it's just someone who's been arrested in many different places.
Great. You need to somehow draw like a person drinking a martini at the Old City Jail and put like
Luckily,
dirtiest, filthiest. Yeah.
That's so funny. The building itself was reinforced in 1822 by the builder of the Washington Monument.
Oh, Papa.
During that same year, this is where I kind of went, like, and like added other things. During that same year, Denmark Vesey was brought to the Old City Jail. Denmark was a free black man arrested for and later convicted of planning a major slave revolt.
Hell yeah.
Fine by me. His plans were discovered before they could amount to anything, but it was enough to scare the planter class of the antebellum time period, leading to Denmark's placement on death row. Denmark Vesey helped found an independent African Methodist Episcopal congregation, or AME, in Charleston, which is now called Mother Emanuel. And this was in 1818 that he helped start this church. The congregation at the time had the support of white clergymen and quickly became the second largest AME congregation in the country, with 1,848 members. Because of this, Denmark Vesey was seen as a community leader in the Black Charleston community and like Greater Carolinas community. He had planned a revolt that was meant to take place on Bastille Day, July 14th of 1822. The plan went like this. Denmark and a group of both enslaved and free African Americans would execute their enslavers, temporarily, and I guess all of them, temporarily liberating the city of Charleston. Then they would sail to Haiti to escape conviction. The plan was widespread among Black people in Charleston and all along the Carolina coast, and pretty much everyone was on board. However, there were 2 enslaved men who opposed the plan and outed it. I don't know if they told, like, the enslavers, if they told police, like, I don't know how that happened, but they told. They tattled.
Yeah.
Charleston authorities charged 131 men with conspiracy. 67 of them were convicted, and 41 of them were hanged, including Denmark Vesey himself. I want to say that we learned about this on our tour, because I remember the tour guide kind of pointing to an area away from the building. And I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but that there was like something was separate, either like a separate gallows or a separate burial area for African Americans. And I remember it because I was impressed that this like old ass white man in Charleston was using the word enslaved so much. Like he would not say slaves. And I was like, good for you.
I do think it was a burial area.
Yeah.
I also remember them saying something about like a workhouse.
Maybe
that. I don't remember if that would have been like on the grounds or if they were saying that was like somewhere else in Charleston. But yeah, I do think he said there was a separate burial area.
Because it was on the same plot as an asylum and a cemetery, which weren't there when we went. It was just the jail. And so maybe like there was a workhouse for one of those places. Maybe so
for the asylum.
Yeah. This jail has seen plenty of death and is considered to be extremely haunted. Of course, Lavinia Fisher herself is believed to haunt the jail. Some people say they can hear her screams throughout the jail or see her through a window. Some visitors will report feeling tingling sensations on their skin and then find scratches after leaving. And they say that 3 scratches are Lavinia's signature mark. When Ryan Bergara and Shane Madej of BuzzFeed Unsolved and Watcher visited the Old City Jail in 2019, they caught video evidence of what they believed to be their first full-body apparition. They left a recorder, like a video camera, out facing Lavinia's cell. And at a time when all of the members of their party were on a different floor of the prison, the video shows a figure in white walking through the cell from one end to the
footage. We discovered on one of our static cams what appears to be a figure moving right outside Lavinia's cell.
Can you hear it?
Is this the ghost of Lavinia Fisher?
Could also just be someone walking outside.
So there's that. Some rumors put the death toll of the Old City Jail as high as 14,000 people.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess over 130 years.
Yeah.
And you think about, like, killing enslaved people just, like, doesn't get recorded in the same way. And, like, you can just be rapid fire killing.
Death records show it being only in the hundreds. And most of them were said to have died from illness or injury. My thought was perhaps there's a discrepancy. Just like that's something people say.
Okay.
So I do wonder if this discrepancy could be because of like some deaths not being documented.
Sure.
Because some people were Black.
Yeah.
But I think that a tens of thousands of number discrepancy is kind of crazy.
I don't know. I mean, depends on how many slave rebellions were happening at this time. They could
but also like how many hundreds are we talking? Like 200, 900, I don't know.
Yeah. 1100, 1300.
Right. During the Civil War, free African American soldiers and sailors were wrongly imprisoned at the jail, including those belonging to Massachusetts 54th Volunteer Infantry Regiment. These soldiers were the first all African American regiment in U.S. history and were eventually featured in the movie Glory. Have you heard of Glory? Oscar award-winning movie. Denzel Washington, maybe? That's who I'm thinking. I don't know. Ghost hunters believe they have made contact with some of these soldiers in spirit box sessions, specifically in the basement morgue. They are said to pick up voices on the recording devices asking for morphine. It's actually just me when I had a kidney stone. Actually, no, because that morphine did nothing for me. After the war, the jail also housed Confederate soldiers and pirates. In the same room where they say they hear people asking for morphine, there is believed to be the spirit of a young boy named Jeremiah. Jeremiah is thought to be around 9 years old and likely died of cholera, although I have no idea why he would have been in a prison.
Yeah.
I know, like, when we went, they also showed us, like, where the warden's family lived. But, like, Jeremiah, from what I've understood, was a black child. And so I don't think it's, like, that he was part of the warden's family. I think that they're just locking black people up.
He could have been enslaved by the warden. Right. Or I feel like they wouldn't have any qualms about imprisoning black children.
Black child, right.
Or I was gonna say, like, could he have been at the asylum?
Yeah. Very possible.
And then, like,
or also I could be wrong and he's not black. I don't know. That's just the way he was portrayed in the show I watched. Visitors to the prison say that Jeremiah makes his presence known by grabbing your hand or standing close to you, leaving cold spots about waist high. He is also said to playfully, not harmfully, playfully throw pebbles at people or to slip them into their pockets. Although these spirits are looking for help or like fun, a friend, most of the spirits in the Old City Jail are considered violent and vengeful. So Katie and I have been there. This is my dream for my bachelorette trip. So I'm like kind of explaining like the layout of like where things happen the way I remember it. So when we first walked in, that we went into this one big room, and I believe because it's so big, I believe it's where like holding cells were. And then there was like a big drop off in the room also. Pictures I've seen of it more recently, there's a bar in it.
Like a drinking bar?
Yes. But that was not there when we were there.
This was a standard historical tour, friends.
Yeah, I also like so that picture it said was from when the building was redone in 2016, and we went in 2021. So I don't know if the bar was removed, or if that room just looks the same and it's on a different floor or something. Because I do think we didn't go all the way up, or did we?
We at least went up some.
Yeah. And we went into the basement. I don't know. Anyway. So in this like big main room, visitors will often feel nauseous or overheated. I think one of my friends started feeling nauseous, but also she threw up that evening on the bar, so could have been other reasons. In another room that was originally considered, or I guess used as a torture chamber, people will often stop in for Ouija board sessions, and many people believe this room contains a portal to hell.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just casual portal to hell. On the
Lavinia
third
wanted
floor,
to get there quick.
Yeah. She said, actually, I visited before.
Yeah.
On the third floor, visitors have reported seeing a jailer sporting a rifle. Others say they will hear their own name called out or feel the sensation of someone whispering in their ear. Some have even reported feeling like they're being choked. Also on the 3rd floor is an 1800s wheelchair that is believed to have belonged to a prisoner who died of cholera.
Mm.
Although no one is allowed to sit in the chair, some people have reported feeling cold spots around the chair, seeing orbs, or even experiencing the chair turn around or bump into people.
Mm.
In
I
the
really wanted a pebble in my pocket. I remember.
I
remember when we left, I was
I
like,
was desperate for
I
a
want
pebble
a
in my
pebble.
pocket. And like when we went in the basement, there was like a light went on or something, and we were like, whoa. And then the tour guide was like, no, that's an electrical issue. And I was like, wouldn't you want to hype this up?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
why are
offering
you telling us it's
I'm
an
offering you
electrical issue?
haunted capitalism right now.
Come on.
Take it.
In the BuzzFeed Unsolved episode where they also set up like a motion detecting camera that like beeps if something walks by or like there's motion detected, and it beeped when like an orb went by in the video. But he was like, it doesn't beep at bugs, and like showed videos of like bugs going back and forth and it not beeping, but then this little tiny orb goes like whoop, and it beeps. And I think that was near the wheelchair. Anyway, in 1886, a 6.8 magnitude earthquake struck Charleston. The 64 inmates that were housed in the jail at that time begged to be released as the building shook around them. Finally, they were allowed out into the yard, which, I mean, I guess is better than being in a building, but like, doesn't feel great.
And the building's gonna fall on us.
Right. A female convicted murderer helped 43 of the inmates escape over the brick walls of the property to seek safety, which left 21 inmates behind to watch as the 4th floor of the prison and the octagonal tower collapsed. In 1939, the Old City Jail closed its doors as a prison. In 2000, restoration efforts began on the building, and this is when Lavinia Fisher really started to get popular. As the building was being worked on, strange occurrences were being reported. Workers would see apparitions or footprints in the dirt, which, like, they're working there, but I think they said, like, they were seeing footprints in the dirt in, like, places they hadn't been yet. And up until that point, the prison had been abandoned. So, like, that was weird. They would hear strange sounds or smell overpowering odors. Since 2003, the Old City Jail has been open to ghost tours for anyone spending time in Charleston. In 2016, Landmark Enterprises purchased the Old City Jail and spent $15 million to transform it into an event venue called 21 Magazine, as well as office spaces for lease. When we went for our tour in 2021, I believe they said that at one point it had also been used as like a school or a camp or something. I feel like there was something that we were like, why are children here? Yeah. But I think he also said that like at that point in time, the office spaces had been closed.
Yeah.
But then I think he also was saying that they were like getting ready to start like, I don't know. And also like we went during like COVID.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that put a damper on how things had been running or changed plans. But
maybe that's why they like, because I don't remember it giving event space at all. Like, but if you're right that like that was in 2016 and then COVID hit, they probably like took the bar out, said, oh.
Let me send you the picture of the bar I saw.
Oh yeah, that's 0% familiar.
Yeah.
I think that maybe that's like up at the very top where we didn't go.
Yeah. There's also like a picture that's like, it looks like it's maybe like an outside patio kind of area that we definitely didn't see. But yeah.
Sure.
Like when we went, like there was like, in all the rooms we went in at least, there was no like people use this space for anything other than a ghost tour.
Yeah.
So that's all. we will be sharing pictures from
Yeah.
our time there. I hope you enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. That was a good one. I remember
Thanks.
some of it.
I just not to side with serial killers, but like maybe oversiding
Support
with men.
women's wrongs.
Yeah. I support women's rights and wrongs.
Mhm.
And
I love innovation.
I love to do iconic fit.
Female innovation.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.